Screw that baby.
Hi.
Did you boo a baby?
What's that baby?
I mean, fair enough. But boo that baby.
Yeah, that baby's terrible.
Thank you, Willow. I appreciate it.
I expect that trending by the end of the day. Hashtag boo that baby.
So, alright, so before we get this battle started, because this is a FurCon, I'm walking down the hallway, and all of a sudden I feel something happening in my pocket, which, coming from Chicago, that's always a scary idea. And I reach in and I pull out a bag that's filled with little blue beads and a small vial, and I got excited. Your fursuit smells like shit. Here's how you clean it. So, whoever did that, I appreciate you.
I got my dad texting me that I forgot to leave my mom a birthday card for this weekend.
Oh no.
And I was there the whole week. I could have gone and gotten
All
one.
right, we need everyone's help. We're doing this now. We're doing it live. Do it
Hold on.
live.
Let me switch the video. I need
Switch the
everyone to
video.
say, Happy birthday, Francis. 1 second. Or should we say Mom Des? Happy birthday, Mom Des. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Mom Des!
Woo!
I heard it's your birthday, and Des wanted me to tell you something. He loves you so much. Now get to work, Pandez!
I will send them that. Oh, I'll send them that.
This is how we do panels. What's a TikTok? I'm 40. Screw you. Okay, now I realize who's talking. I love the beautiful thing about Furry and being in a large room that is made not for sound is that when somebody talks, I am very out of practice. Sorry. I immediately look at every fursuiter like, who's talking to me? You? Nope. Everyone wears a mask now. I have no idea who is talking to me.
By the way, your water is down on that corner. I know you need some.
Oh, what are you talking about? I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
That was
I
last
solved
night.
the glass problem.
So who was here at MST3K last night? So either it was not your first convention, or you just know it's the panel to go to pre-con.
I still love that panel. One of my all-time favorites was coming up with that panel, thinking that, oh, we're going to sit here and we're going to make fun of a movie. This is going to be a great panel. And 5 minutes in, we realized, oh, this is Furry. The audience is making fun of a movie, and we have nothing to do. Let's drink. You leave my trash on stage alone.
So, who here actually this is their first furry convention? Who here? Woo, there's quite a few of you.
We have
You have
really? First FurCon! You're adorable. Your first FurCon with a full suit. Oh, they can't see.
They
because they're
can't
in
see.
full suit. This is your first FurCon in the suit. You're awesome. Awesome!
adorable.
I love first-timers that show up in suit. That's so cool. Oh. Welcome to, so this is your first FurCon, MCFC edition. This is my co-host, Pandez. Give it up for Pandez.
This is my co-host, Alcohol.
I'm missing a top hat.
It's right here.
Give me. You found it or you stole it an hour ago. Yeah. I'm a ferret, so finding it and stealing it are very similar.
I'm also a ferret, that's why I have it.
Exactly. I understand. That's why we don't fight about it. I just accept this.
You've accepted your fate at this point.
Exactly.
I wear it more than you do at this point.
So this is your first FurCon. What we're going to do here is we're going to have a little bit of fun because that's what FurryCons are about, but also we're going to give you some information. To start off, we're going to do one of the serious things. And there's a rule. There's a rule that shows up not only at FurCons, not only at anime cons, not only at gay cons. I don't know what a gay con is. That was just the first word that came to my mind. I haven't slept yet. I love you. Shut up.
That rule 34, right? Wait, no, different rule.
Oh, that was better than Rule 69. So we are talking about the 6-2-1
rule.
All right, Pandas, what is the 6-2-1 rule.
6 hours of sleep every night.
So, a can of Mountain Dew?
That does not count as sleep.
Oh, so...
Red Bull does not count as sleep. Jolt Cola, if you still have some from 20 years ago, does not count as sleep.
And might be a bioweapon. Be careful.
Actually, asleep in your bed for 6 hours is recommended, because otherwise, you'll be one of those zombies. Those people on day 3 of the convention that get 1 hour of sleep a night, because that's all they need. And they're there on Sunday, having such a great time. And they're, hi, I'm having so much fun. Your eyes are closed. And, no, sleep. Sleep helps keep you awake.
Sleep helps keep you awake! Okay,
It's
for all of you who don't realize, we used to do this panel 7 times a year and haven't done it in 2 years. We're rusty.
Tiny little bit.
This is what it comes down to, and this is what I need you to remember about the rule of 6 and the rule of 2. Your body is a machine, and a machine needs fuel. That sleep is resetting you. That sleep is making your immune system slightly better than it was before. I have been doing conventions since I was 16 years old, and of course, I'm assuming you're the same way. Your first convention,
I was in my 30s.
You did your first convention in your 30s?
Yes.
And does. Oh, yeah. But, hold on, was I at your first convention?
Yeah, FCN
That was your first
2008.
convention.
Anybody remember FCN? It's the precursor to MCFC.
And if I remember correctly, you were also in suit at your first convention. Would you like to tell them what your suit was?
I was in a head-to-toe official Disney Sully from Monsters, Inc. costume. Because I was like, well, this is furry, so it counts, right? I didn't have a clue. My big old face showing through the costume. Hi, I'm Sully.
This is one of the beauties of the furry fandom. There's actually a picture out there, and every time I see it, I get a little bit choked up because myself and Pandez actually got to know each other through IFC. That's when we really got to know each other, but we hadn't met before. And there's a picture from my first year or 2 in furry, and your very first convention, an overhead picture of this hotel that we were at. This hotel that had a pool in the lobby. It was the most human hotel on the face of the planet. Every fursuiter you saw was just like this. Adorable. And in that picture, standing across the room for each other, is myself and Des at a convention together for the first time, a person who years later would end up becoming one of my very best friends. And that is what furry is. It is a beautiful mixing pot of people from all walks of life, people with so many different...
Different skin colors from black to
Skin
white.
colors.
Religions, atheist, Christian, Muslim. You've got people that are bankers, you've got people that are doctors, you've got people working 3 jobs just to make ends meet. You've got people from every single socio-political, economic, religious part of the spectrum that you can imagine. And we're all here hanging out and having a good time with each other because why the not?
There you go. I appreciate it. But those first cons, I still remember, you own the night. You are so overwhelmed.
You think you own the
You
night.
think you own the night. You are so overwhelmed that you are going to never sleep again. You show up to a convention and that Friday night, like, yes! Look at all the things there are to do! People to meet! People to do! Doesn't matter! You're gonna stay up, and then Saturday's a whole new day. The sun comes up and you go, what the shit is that? Oh, crap! We used to call it Blue 30. By Sunday, you're probably going to realize that you haven't gotten everything out of the con because, honestly, if you're going 48 hours without sleep, if you're getting an hour nap in there, you're not really getting everything that you could out of the convention because you are exhausted, but more importantly, your body is out of fuel. And what happens to you then? Con crud. If you don't sleep, your chances of getting sick at a convention go up exponentially. I wish Uncle Kage were here to go over the numbers because he's actually looked into it. Get sleep. You know why? It helps against COVID. Do I need to say anything else right now? And if I do, you're wrong. I think that's number 6.
I think we've covered 6 pretty well.
2.
2 decent meals per day.
Oh, a Pop-Tart.
No.
Oh, a cereal bar.
No.
Oh, cock.
What?
Nothing.
Also, Red Bull is not a meal.
Yeah.
Jolt Cola, not a meal. These are fun little things to have in between as snacks and energy boosters. Not necessarily at 4 o'clock in the morning just before you go to bed, though I know people who go to sleep after energy drinks and it's weird.
It is very weird. I'll never get it. I mean, I do understand that it's, if you ever need a quick boost and you're not doing something stupid like using this to stay up all night, drinking a coffee and taking a 15-minute power nap is one of the best ways for a quick boost of energy. I highly recommend it if you need that. And then go to bed afterwards. You're going to crash really hard, but it's not such a crash that you're not going to feel uncomfortable sleeping. So if you ever need a really quick boost, you drink a coffee, you take a 15-minute power nap, you'll get about an hour of good energy. But that's just a stopgap. Again, 6 hours of real sleep and 2 full meals. Preferably at some kind of a restaurant. If you're bringing food into the room that's wonderful, peanut butter and jelly will tide you over. Anything that is real food, nutritious.
It is not wrong in any way, shape, or form to bring groceries. Obviously, it's too late now. This is your first con.
Yeah.
But for next con, if you didn't, bring some food with you. I bring a loaf of bread, Canadian peanut butter and jelly, and if I need a PB&J, I am good to go at any time.
Now, there's also going too far with that. Please don't bring a pizza oven with you. We're just going to throw that out there.
We'll talk about that at another panel.
That's a different panel. But seriously, it is one of the best things you do. And here we go. It was 6-2-1.
Yes.
The one has nothing to do with you. The one is for everyone else. Pandas, what's the one?
1 bath and or shower per day.
If you are a suitor, 1 after every time you suit.
You might have the 6-2-6 rule. You might have the 6-2-24 rule, depending. That would be a really weird. I took 24 showers today.
At that point, you're a seal. You're just okay. Thank you. If Uncle Kage were here, he could do this perfectly, but I will try to do this justice. The human olfactory gland, that is your scent gland, is one of the weakest in the animal kingdom. And one of the things that it does better than almost any other animal is block out a particular scent. You are so bad at smelling that your body knows that once you smell something, if you're constantly smelling, it needs to get that information out of there. You cannot smell yourself. You smell yourself at the beginning, and then it goes away. It's out of mind. It's out of focus. But you know who can smell you? Everyone else. Everyone else can smell your stank ass. Take a shower. The elevators don't go slow because they're shitty elevators. They go slow because they're dying of stench.
Axe body spray does not count as a shower.
It's the worst! People are allergic to that shit.
You may add it in addition after your shower in minimal quantities.
Yes.
You do not need to spray the entire bottle on you. It is not going to make that big of a difference. Believe me, I've tried. Anyway.
Cologne, spraying a mist into the air and then walking into it like your Guy Valadi, perfectly acceptable. Cologne poured over you while staring at your mate going, I'm pretty, correct? Not acceptable.
Well, I think we pretty much covered the 621.
And we're very open about this, and it is a legal state, so we're going to do the 0. This is a newer one. The 0 is 0 smoking of any substance inside the hotel. Here is one of the things that you need to understand about Furry, and this is a very serious matter. Furry, unfortunately, has to be a business in the sense that we want to have a convention next year. That's really the extent of how Furry is a business. We want to hold the convention next year. The easiest way for that not to happen is the hotel to become dissatisfied with us. How does a hotel become dissatisfied? People smoking in the hotel. That includes vaping, that includes cigarette, and that damn sure involves any kind of cannabis or anything like that. Look, we've got a balcony, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I do a lot of these.
There is
This
a
legal
designated
state.
smoking area, and this is a legal state, so, you know, we don't care what you partake in, just not in the rooms if it's in a smoking form.
It's such an easy thing to do, and yet every year we have a problem. If that problem gets out of hand, the hotel isn't happy, and if the hotel's not happy, the convention isn't happy because that causes problems.
You know what doesn't cause smoke in your room? Brownies. Just saying.
Just saying.
And cookies. Unless you have an easy bake-up, oh, that's going to be a
No!
story.
No!
That's going to be a story.
No! Do not make peanut butter in your room! No! No! Okay, if you're gonna do that, call me.
We need to supervise.
Are we ready to yes, I can supervise. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. That's the beauty of this panel in particular. This panel has changed over the years that we've done it. This has never been an announcement that we had to make. And then all of a sudden, we were walking to this panel, myself, Uncle Kage, and Pat Des, and Uncle Kage went, I smell something wacky. And Des, tobacco? I hate you both. But yeah, so guys, just come on. Help out the hotel, help out the convention, just follow the hotel rules. I cannot stress to you enough how much that helps in the long run. A good relationship with a hotel makes and breaks conventions. That's all the, that's more of the, like, we'll joke during it, but that's more of the serious part. We want you to be safe, we want you to have a good time, and we want the convention to happen next year. So, that's that one. Oh my God, I used to have a list for this.
Dealing with the costumed individuals.
Okay, want to do fursuiters?
Yeah.
All right.
Who would, may I have a fursuit volunteer? There we go, we have one.
One,
Do we have another
2,
one?
and 3. You guys
Okay.
come on up. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our fursuiters!
Woo!
Introduce yourself.
Where's the mic?
In your mouth.
Hi, I'm Status the Ferret. When I'm in fursuit, I am the charming otter.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Trix.
Hi, Trix. Hi, Trix.
Hi, I'm Raz Husky.
These are our fursuiters, one of the core parts of the furry fandom, one of my favorite parts of the furry fandom, the stuffed animals that come to life. Now I want you to take a look up here at what we have. Would you step forward? Yeah. I need to ask them a question. I always need to ask this because it's kind of an awkward topic. Cosplaying has had some amazing costumes. I actually help out at YomaCon, and this year I got to experience people in full-body mech suits. I got to experience people in costumes that were so intricate and complicated that I would say they are the same thing as furry, because at some point they are not costumes. These are living, breathing, walking pieces of art. You cannot consider this a costume. And to show that, and I know this isn't a good metric for it, but it gives you an idea. I'm going to just go around the room a few times. Okay. I'm going to start over here. How much do you think that fursuit, that stuff would cost? What do you think? At least $5 grand. We have a $5 bed. What do you think that fursuit cost? 6.5. And what do you think that fursuit cost? You got a 10. Okay, so we have somebody who thinks it's 10 grand, 6.5, 5, and 2. This is a $6,000 piece of art. What would you do if your piece of art got damaged? It's more than just, oh no, I've lost my costume, oh no, I've lost a toy. This is a part of you. When this person is in this costume, are you yourself anymore, or do you become your character?
It's part of me, but also my character, because I'm gender fluid, so it actually helps me be myself.
And that is why these are more than costumes. okay? They are expensive pieces of wearable art. And the furry community, the cosplay community, they get it. And I want to make sure everyone here does. And that's why we have such stringent rules when it comes to this. Pandez, would you go over some of the do's and don'ts of fursuits?
Do. Ask them to take a picture. Hey, would you like to take a picture? Oh, let me grab my... if you're going to ask them to have a picture taken, have your phone ready. Don't be like, oh, can I have a picture? Let me take it out of my pocket. Oh, sorry, hold on, I'm getting a text from my mom, and I didn't wish her happy birthday.
So what you're saying is, don't have the flash on and go, lightning bolt slap! Please don't blind your fursuiters.
Make sure your phone is at it ready.
Already
I'm
blind.
already blind. I don't need it to get worse.
Oh, we're about to get into that.
Don't hold the phone while they are holding a pose. Wait 5 or 10 seconds and go, oh, I'm recording video, do something funny. No, if you tell them you're taking a picture, take a picture. If you want to record a video, say, hey, do you want to do a 5-second video or something? Let them know what you're doing so they know how to react. Because nobody likes to be like, I'm recording video.
Exactly. And on top of that, when you're doing it, please feel free. There is nonverbal communication in a fursuit. Everyone knows this one. That's asking to take a picture. If they see you, they don't want to communicate, they might be a silent fursuiter. That's how you ask. And remember, when you do it, we're also trying to speed it up because you're probably doing it in a hallway. That being said, if you are witnessing a picture, it should be 5 seconds. Stand back, let them take the picture, and then move forward. If it starts taking too long, that's their own problem. Stampede. All right.
So like I said, there we go. Do ask to take a picture. If you want to give them a hug, there is a universal sign. Do you want to give me a hug? Can I give you a hug? Do ask for a hug. Consent is key, even for something as simple as a hug, because some people, they might be very, very like, hey, I'm here, but I'm not comfortable with that close of an interaction yet. Because of COVID, they might be very, very sensitive with their suit, like, it's brand new, I'm not ready to do that yet. Like, you don't know where they're at.
One of my all-time favorites, because especially if I am in suit, I usually don't take hugs for one very specific reason. I weigh 330 pounds. I am a giant sponge. Please don't touch me. It is disgusting in there. So, this is for your benefit too. If you ever, and the fursuiter waves you off, please do not take offense. There is a really good chance that they're waving you off had nothing to do with you. It's probably them.
So we said, do ask for consent. If you do go in for a hug, give them a gentle hug. You don't want to, like, whereas, you're okay if I go a little, okay. This would not be something you would normally do to someone you don't know. Raz and I know each other, and he's comfortable with that. I know people with back issues who've had their back thrown out at a convention because someone said, may I have a hug? And they literally picked them up and tilted them 90 degrees.
We had a window treatment ripped down at my convention because they went off balance. That was expensive. Touching the suit. This is a very common one. They are fluffy works of art. Oh my God, is this beautiful. Again, consent is key. And also, we're not going to be touching the nose, you're not touching the face. If you would like to touch a fursuit, may I? Oh my God, that is so soft. All right, this panel's over. I'm just going to pet your arm for a half hour.
If they're okay with it, a light pet in grain with the fur.
Yes.
You don't want to stretch the fur because this fur doesn't grow back.
He looks like a doggy, not a doggy. Okay, fine,
Sorry,
you're a
Ed.
doggy, but your fur doesn't grow back. Okay, fine. Oh my God. Fursuit, don't touch.
Don't approach them if you're not clean. If you recently ate greasy pizza,
Yes.
do not go in to pet their fursuit. If you're holding a steaming hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate, please do not come right up to the fursuiter. anything that could spill or stick to them, you should not be near them. I mean, you don't have to be like 30 feet away, but don't approach them where you could, if somebody bumps you from behind, you go, oh! And suddenly it's a scene from a 1950s movie. Oh no, the coffee has spilled on you.
I got something to add.
What do you got?
If you're covered in body paint, especially Homestuck cosplayers, do not touch the first single one.
Oh my God.
That has happened.
Yeah, don't paint yourself and go hugging fursuits. What?
Yeah.
All right, use common sense. I'm gonna cry. Good one? Okay.
I love AV's interpretation of my spiel. Don't approach if dirty.
Thank you, AV.
No, those dogs are dirty.
Odie. Oh yeah, good one. Yeah. Yeah. Don't go near a suit where smoking fur. It's going to absorb the smell. We're about to get to that one. Yes. All right. So the next one, and this one goes back to the consent. I showed you how, if you would like to pen a fursuit. One of the reasons we do the arm and never the tummy is you never know who's in a fursuit. I am a ferret. You are a ferret. Now you don't have a bodysuit, but in my bodysuit, the body portion of it comes down much longer to accentuate the torso, to make me look longer than I am, because ferrets are long. You really don't know where anything is inside there, and you definitely don't know who's inside there. Unless you want to get a handful of titty and a very angry person, don't do it. And if you do want to get a handful of titty and a very angry person, fuck you, stop it, consent is key.
Fursuit is not consent.
First, thank you. I love that phrase. A fursuit is not consent. But seriously, you don't know who's inside the fursuit, and it's not acceptable to do something like that. Again, consent is key. All you got to do is ask. It's really that easy. Did that.
Vision.
Sorry. All right, we're going to do a game. Dennis, you're on that side, I'm over here.
All right, so, Raz, why don't you step forward with me?
Step forward, Dennis. All right.
No, what we're going to do...
We'll do two of them. We're going to show just how bad it is.
Okay.
All right, this is just to show you what is going on from the vantage point of these suits. Now, bear in mind, they are wearing a costume where the eyes are recessed. Oh, my fuck. They are pulled away from the face, which means they have tunnel vision. We're going to show you. You do red. Oh, you do stairs.
No, I was going to say we do each one just to show the pure tunnel.
Yeah.
So, for example, it could be a little different with each of them, but...
Go ahead.
All right. Raise your hand when you see the hand on that side. So left hand when you see Alkali's up hand, and then when you see my hand, come and raise your right, okay? Here we go.
All right. So there we go. We got it here.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
Just barely.
That's just barely
That's
up
not-
and down. I'm doing down. I'm doing up. You're doing down. When you can see them. There we go. There's the field of vision. Okay? Let's do Raz. Same thing.
I'll stay on this side.
Yep.
All right, so Raz, when you see my hand on your left, raise your left hand. You see Alkali's on the right, raise your right hand. Okay, ready?
Okay? So here's your box over here. I'm high.
I'll go low.
Yeah,
You're
you
tall.
go. It's a little more high. That's it? Wait,
Oh, you already
can
saw
you
mine.
see?
Sorry.
Oh, you can see dozens. Okay.
Okay. All right, so put that down again so that I can do your... I didn't realize...
There you go.
Okay.
It was fun.
So now you have an idea of what they can and can't see. So what can they see? You approaching them straight on. What can't they see? You approaching them from the side. And what can they really not see? Kevin! They're gonna punt those little shits so hard! Not on purpose! Not on purpose!
It's on purpose.
It's on purpose.
Depending on their persona, maybe it's on purpose.
At this time, it's on purpose.
Okay, possibly on purpose here.
It's on.
So, it is perfectly acceptable if you see a furry, a fursuiter, getting into a situation, they're walking directly towards a chair. They're walking directly towards a child. It is perfectly... Stop! Loud and proud, get their attention, get them to stop, and once they do, you're fine. There doesn't need to be anything more than that. A little bit of help is appreciated. Speaking of help, There are a few circumstances, we're going to cover these very quickly, but they are very important. You can't see them. You cannot see what's happening inside that fursuit. If they are sitting in a chair, not moving, feel free to approach them and ask, "Are you okay?" If their answer is anything other than yes, here is exactly what you do and nothing else. One, you stay by their side if somebody else is there, and you send somebody else to go get the door side. That is the security. Door side is located in operations, which is over past by registration on the second floor by dealer's den. They have training on what to do. If there is not somebody there and you need to go, you are to leave them immediately, find the nearest person in the exact same scenario, returning to them. What you do not do is ever remove any part of the fursuit unless they directly ask you. Why? Because you don't know what is going on, you don't know the situation, and there could easily be a neck injury. If you try to remove a fursuit head while somebody is injured, this is a very bad situation. Again, our security, our door side are trained to do this. Please, please, please take that very seriously.
Also touching on that, medic does not care how much your fursuit costs. If they have to cut you out, they will do it.
We're about to get to that. That goes to the other side. Actually, let me do one other thing before we get to that, but yes, yes. Fursuit. The reason we are saying, if they give you any other answer but yes, is because of dehydration. One of the first things that happens when you are dehydrated is you have trouble communicating. You might not understand the question, or you might not be able to answer it properly. If that happens, you're going to know because they didn't tell you yes. Okay? Fursuiters, if somebody asks if you're okay, just say yes. Just say yes. We really
or if they give you a thumbs up, maybe they're
thumbs up,
nonverbal.
because some fursuiters do not verbally communicate. Thumbs up means that they are okay. They know what they're doing.
What else? Rez, what would you do if you're feeling hot? I'm hot.
cue.
I need to get to the Headless Lounge. Please help me there.
Or if you see somebody doing that, feel free. May I help you to the Headless Lounge? You may offer them help. They might wave you away. They might be on their way. But that also means leave them alone. They're going somewhere to take off the head. Which also goes to the elevators. When we are standing at the elevators going up to our rooms, if a fursuiter approaches, they get preference. Why? Because they're wearing carpeting and they want a shower. It's that simple. Please give the fursuiters preference on the elevators to get to their room. Which now goes to the other side, which we were talking about over here. Fursuiters. Dehydration. Dehydration is one of the scariest things from a security standpoint of a fur con. Why? Because you can still drink liquid and get dehydrated. What's that liquid? Booze. There is a lot of people, oh my God. There are a lot of people that will have a cocktail, get in the suit, and go out and have a good time, and they're going to be fine. But every once in a while, they might overdo it. And that's going to be it. They're going to get dehydrated, they're going to sit down, and they might have to take a ride in, what is it called?
The rave bus.
Thank you.
Rave bus, disco wagon.
The rave bus, the disco wagon, it's an ambulance. And that comes to what my good friend over here was saying. If you get into an ambulance, they do not have a choice. No matter how much you beg, how much you plead, how okay you are, the moment your mind realizes what's going on, it does not matter. They are about to cut you out of your $6,000 fursuit. They are going to destroy it, and they have to. Why? Legally. Legally, they have to. It is a situation that they only have one choice. They're going to cut you out of this costume. So fursuiters and non-fursuiters alike, I always have the same piece of advice. This is something that I hold near and dear, and I've done it wrong too. But know your limits. I cannot stress enough to know your limits. We're here to have a good time this weekend. You're going to get 6 hours of sleep. You're going to have 2 meals. You're hopefully going to have that shower. But it still might not be enough. You might need to go sit down for a while. You might need to stop drinking for a while. You might need to go to bed.
You might need water.
You might need, yes, you might just need a glass of water. Know your limits. When your body starts telling you to do something, please, please, please do it. And this is a me thing. I have a few very close friends, Status, Des, Uncle Kage. Find those friends, and if you are worried that you're going to party to the point where you don't realize you've gone too far, those are the people you trust when they tell you, hey, maybe you should go to bed. A few people at this con can tell me to go to bed, and I immediately shut it off and go to bed. Why? Because they see me from an external point of view. In my mind, I'm like, I'm fine. In their mind, like, you're not wearing pants. Damn it. So, guys, that's really, to me, one of the bigger ones. It's a safety thing. Please know your limits and trust your friends. If you've gone too far, call them night. Go to bed. Wake up the next day. Do it all over again. Go to bed again. It's a horrible cycle, but eventually the convention ends, so you'll be fine.
One last thing, is going back to the photography real quick.
Yes.
Ask them to take a picture, fine. Not in the Headless Lounge.
Okay.
The Headless Lounge is for them. Some people don't want to have their picture taken with their heads off. Some people are very, very like secretive, like, this is my secret suit. Nobody knows it's me. I tried that once, everyone could tell it was me. But once they're in, there's a room called the Headless Lounge. I don't know where it's at, but you'll find it. It's that
Next to secondary, right over.
next to secondary. This room is called Headless Lounge. You might see people that are non-costumed with them. That's their handler. They're going there to help them get desuited or whatever they need to do. But don't just assume you can walk in there, take pictures, mingle with people. You should not be in that particular room unless you are a fursuiter or their designated handler. So please remember that. I think that's it regarding fursuits, unless anyone else can think of anything we missed.
Question.
Oh.
Go ahead.
One thing, for fursuiters,
Yes.
always assume a child is sticky.
Always assume a child is sticky.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Do not pick up small animals. I've had one piss on my fursuit before.
So as much as the bunnies are cute, don't handle the bunnies in suit.
Yeah.
All right.
I got one.
Yes, sir.
If you're almost more of a
About to go.
how to fursuit topic, but sometimes kids can be scared of the costumes. When you're at full height, feel free to crouch down. Oops, I'm sorry. Hi. Oh, you're a kid. I want to give you a hug or a fist bump. Yay.
Just eat that.
Probably just a fist bump. Do not eat the children.
Eat that children. All right.
They are
Can
off
we
the
get-
menu.
Can we get a huge round of applause for our fursuits? All right, so now that the fursuiters know, we're going to do one other topic about costuming, and that is props. You've seen me wear a top hat here. My friend Status borrows it all the time. Why does Status borrow it all the time? Because we're both ferrets, and it's an inside joke between.
It's there.
Exactly. We know the joke. We're in on it. That is why Status takes my top hat. Do not take people's props. It's not funny anymore. Anyone who has a part of the fursuit they've had with them forever, whether it be some kind of a staff, a weapon on their hip, a hat, okay, it doesn't matter. Don't take it from them. It's already been done. The joke is done to death, and it's not funny. Which also goes on to people wearing tails, people having lanyards. Don't grab anyone by the lanyard, and definitely don't grab them by the tail. You're gonna ruin the tail.
Yep, especially full body fursuit. Go back to fursuits. If they have a tail that's attached to their bodysuit, and you try to tug on it, you may rip it off the bodysuit.
Yes.
Please don't assume that it's a separate tail that's fed through or something, because sometimes that's the case, but most of the time it's not.
That would ruin my suit too. Mine's fed through, and it would absolutely ruin my entire fursuit if you tugged on my tail.
Exactly. Exactly. Again, this is a respect thing. Just be smart about it. They're walking, breathing pieces of art. My top hat, this is a newer top hat. I had my first top hat for a decade. And one day, while standing at the escalator at Anthrocon helping out with the parade, somebody took it off my head. They moved forward with the parade. I couldn't go after them. I was too busy. I continued. The hat was gone for 24 hours. When it showed up, they were in line to get a signature from Uncle Kage on their top hat. They had Uncle Kage sign my 10-year-old, since I had started the fandom, top hat. Now, I'm a very laid-back person. It's a great story. And I have a top hat signed by one of my close friends that I keep at home. But my prop was gone. For an entire day, I did not have something that I have as part of my character. And I couldn't really use it after that. I got a new one. It's not that big of a deal, but that happened. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. Guys, please respect the other people at this convention, respect what they're doing, and know that some of us were using these props to let out a side of ourselves that can't be there in real life. And that matters. When I put this costume on, I get to be Alkali. You have no idea how much I love being Alkali. You have no idea how much I don't want to go back to being Dan sometimes. Losing the prop is the first step towards that, and I hate it. I think a lot of you would agree with that. All right, props, da-da-da-da-da. I think we're on to handling and having fun.
Handling and having fun. Who wants to talk about paneling and having fun? So this, right here, your first Furry convention is a panel.
Let's see.
You can find information about paneling in the convention book, the pocket guide, or on the website, which I should have pulled up so I can tell you what it is in case you needed it.
Also, you should probably be following the convention's Twitter account. Why? Because they will be posting on there when things change. A lot of last-minute changes happen at conventions. Why? Because we're a bunch of volunteers here to have a good time. Sometimes panels have to be canceled. If you're at opening ceremonies, you find out that Uncle Kage, one of the bigger performers at this convention, could not make it this weekend, and that happened 4 days ago. We found out 4 days ago that all of his paneling had to be changed. Following the Twitter account is key to see changes in paneling.
Or, if you go to motorcityfurrycon.org, one of the few cons that's a .org, it has right at the beginning, when you start to scroll upcoming panels and events, it'll put like the first 5 or 6. Or if you click on one of them, you can go to the full panel for the whole convention. So for example, there's a panel tonight at 7 o'clock.
What panel would that be?
It's supposed to be Uncle Kage's Story Hour.
And what's it going to be?
Uncle Dez's Sorry Hour.
Looking forward to it.
With assistance from... And Alkali? Daddy Alkali? Oh, better not go there. Okay.
No. So when I used to LARP, you come up with a bunch of different character names, and I had a alchemist because I got old and fat and couldn't fight anymore. So I was just a merchant named Uncle Dote. Oh, Uncle Dote, an alchemist. What does that make my wife?
Jody?
The antidote. Yes, that was it. That was the whole character. I loved it to death. All right, so we're just going to go into this right now. Paneling is what the convention does to give you something to do. Do you need paneling? No. Maybe you're here to see your friends, and that is awesome. Show up to the convention, hang out with your friends that you don't get to see. That's going to be an amazing weekend for you. I love seeing my friends at these conventions. But maybe you're new to the furry community. Maybe you don't have, maybe your friends couldn't make this con, you're here alone. Paneling is key. I say this every year, and every year it's more true than the last. You will get out of this convention what you put into it. If you show up here and you bring your Nintendo Switch and you sit in your room the entire convention and play Mario Kart, you know what your convention was? Sitting in your room playing Mario Kart. You didn't experience what it is to be here in the community. You didn't get to experience the nonsense that happens in the hallways. And more to me, you didn't get to experience meeting people that you can walk into a room and know, hey, I have something in common with these people. There are meet and greets all weekend for your fursona. Are you musclid? Find the musclid meet and greet. You know why? Because there's other musclids in there. You have a conversation that you can start immediately. You're going to meet friends. One year, I went to the Rocket Furs meet and greet. I didn't know what it was about. I was hoping missiles. It was spaceships. They were literally model rocket builders. I made a ton of friends that day because I was interested in a topic that people had a ton of information on. There's the Improv Panel. You're going to go in there and you're going to get to perform in front of all of your friends and in front of all of your soon-to-be friends.
What's the name of that improv panel?
That would be Whose Lion Is It Anyway? That will be...
Today?
It's at 3 in this room.
It's at 3?
Yeah.
What?
That's a regular.
Today at 3 o'clock in this room. Whose Line Is It Anyway? If you've ever seen the traditional Whose Line Is It Anyway on television, we're going to be playing that, but with you. You're the participants, we're running the game. Tomorrow, we're going to do the same thing for charity. We will be the participants, and we're going to fail miserably while you laugh at us, not with us. So thank you.
That's the great thing that you can do if you go through the con book or the pocket guide or on the website. You can select the type of paneling. Maybe you're into comedy. You'll see us at a lot of the comedy panels. Maybe you're into, I don't know, gaming. You can look by gaming. You can look by arts and crafts. Maybe you want to learn how to draw better. You want to learn how to build a fursuit. You want to know how to act in fursuit. There's so many different types of panelings. At least go through. If you're not sure what to do, and just look through and go like, you can click on it and go, what is this panel? Ooh, that looks interesting. What is this panel? I will never go to that. And that's okay, because that's what this community is about. There are people who will go to the board game room and play board games all weekend. And there is nothing wrong with that. There are people that will go to the video game room and play video games all weekend, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are people that will be in panels all day, every day, today and tomorrow, like him and myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you get out of this convention that makes you have joy and entertains you, that's fine. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because it's your experience, and no one can tell you how to experience this convention. We can give you suggestions, but it's up to you to decide, what do I want to do?
I think it's really good. Well done. So at that point, we're going to go to questions from all y'all. Does anyone have any questions or comments? And as I say that, I will say that if at any point during this convention you don't find yourself having a good time, you don't know what to do, you see one of us, ask. This is the furry community. We are the friendliest people on the planet. I cannot get over. I never knew what the word community meant until I joined Furry. Because this is a real community and we're all here to support each other. If you're not having a good time, tell someone. Tell a board member. They want to know. Because if you're not having a good time, you're probably not the only one, and they're going to take that to heart, and they're going to try to make the convention better and better and better every year, because that's what we do.
I do have one thing before we go to questions. We are in a hotel. If this is your first convention, it could be your first time being in a hotel by yourself or being in a hotel with other people for the weekend. Remember, you have not bought the room. It is not yours to do whatever you wish with. Please do not install a stripper pole in your room and bolt it to the ceiling. Please do not hang your fursuit to dry from the fire extinguisher spigot in your room. These may be actual stories that we will talk about in War Convention Stories, another panel at this convention.
Thank you.
Stripper clothes.
No stripper clothes, none.
No, that stays. You do not fix that. No stripper clothes.
I would like to remind you that the idea of a fire sprinkler is a misnomer. It is not a fire sprinkler. The pressure behind the water in those pipes will knock you on your ass. And on top of that, and I can't stress this enough, how often does a hotel purge the water in their sprinkler system? Who knows?
Never.
That's the right answer! That water is disgusting, and you will be hit full force with it, and it will hit your room, and it will flood your room, and then it will go to the room underneath that. And you know what's going to happen then? It'll go to the room underneath that. You know what's going to happen then? You'll be broke, because they will make you pay for it. So, do not hang anything off those sprinklers.
So I have a story relating to fire sprinklers.
Oh, don't worry. So do we. One of the reasons that hotels have the little sign under the sprinklers is a furry story. There is an entire state who put signs underneath the sprinklers that have a hanger and an X through it. Why? Because of a furry. And that furry runs a convention. So there you go.
It was not him or myself.
Yeah, for once. Oh no, we will be doing Convention War. So for those of you who are interested in what we're talking about, we have a panel called Convention War Stories. It'll actually be my last panel, so I know it's Saturday.
Saturday at 8.
Thank you very much. 8:30. Unless something changes. My schedule is 8:30. Look on the con book. Something could have changed. Convention War Stories, Saturday, 8:30 to 9:30. If you want to hear the crazy shit that happens behind the scenes, come to that panel. We've got oodles of stories, and yes, that's when we're going to go over the insanity.
All right. Shall we go to questions?
Yeah. Questions? Hold on, let me check time.
Oh, actually, again, go back to the hotel room.
9 minutes.
Keep your garbage together in a bag. They have garbage bags that should be in the hotel room. If not, call down to the front desk. They will bring you a garbage bag. Don't just leave it strewn about. The last thing we need is tiny little insects coming in to enjoy the leftover food that you left on the ground rather than in the trash bag. Please don't.
Please don't. All right, any questions? In half an hour, a little more than half an hour in this room is a panel called Whose Line Is It Anyway? That is the improv panel. If you've ever wanted to perform in front of people, I'll be running it. It's a very simple and fun performance. I cannot recommend it enough. It's a great time to get up on stage for a minute or two, show your chops, sit back down and laugh with all of your friends. There will be panels happening all throughout the weekend. If you see one of our names on it, it's probably going to be an interactive or at least a comedy panel. So feel free to look for that. And I believe Lupus and Tabula is tonight at 9 p.m.?
Yes.
Tonight, 9 p.m., Lupus and Tabula, one of my all-time favorite games. If you would like a chill sit-down session with some of the best hidden card games out there, Lupus and Tabula tonight at 9 p.m. Yes? No, I talked to them about that.
Change that?
Yes.
Okay.
I will explain later why everyone thought that. But we might still just do a collection for charity. Oh my God! Holy shit, charity! Oh my God! I told you I was rusty. This weekend you're going to see myself, Pandaz, and a few other people panhandling. We'll be passing the hat around. We'll be in the hallways collecting money. There's a charity here this weekend. It is an animal shelter right here in this state for bunnies. They are helping out the local bunnies. They are local shelter only. It's an amazing, amazing thing that they are doing. But remember this. We're going to be up here on stage. We're going to be passing around the hat. We're going to be asking for money. If you can give, give. And if you can't, do not worry about it. There is no pressure.
That is Audie, the head of AV.
Yeah, Audie!
I love you guys. That's so great. If you cannot give, guys, ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, do not worry about it. It is in addition to a panel. At no point this weekend are there panels that you need to pay to get into. Show up to the panel. If you can't give, just pass the hat to the next person. Don't worry about it. No one is going to call you out or do anything because we are furries. We have a charity here this weekend. And no matter how many of you do or don't give, we know one thing. That charity is going to cry on stage at closing ceremonies because that is our job.
Make them cry like a bitch.
Do not say make the charity cry like a bitch. We have to find the happy middle ground where we don't call the charity a bitch.
Make them cry. Make them cry. Make them cry.
That being said, I think this is my last piece of advice, and I'm going to let you close out the panel. Closing ceremonies, I cannot recommend it enough. It is the moment where you find out how the convention did. You want to talk about community. We are furries. We are nationwide. We are worldwide. But closing ceremonies is about this con. It's about this weekend. How did they do? How many people were here? How much money did they make for the charity?
How much booze did we drink?
How much booze they drank? That's right. I forget this concept.
Sponsors Lounge. There is, if you are a sponsor level or higher, there are beers and or meads and or ciders in the Sponsors Lounge. In the evening hours, you should go check that out.
Guys, go to closing ceremonies. It's always a good time. And look, you want to feel good about yourself? See the change you make in the life of a charity. Because those are people who are out there helping those who cannot help themselves. You will be shocked the difference you are making in not only the furry community, but literally the state as a whole. This is an amazing charity that is helping out the state, the bunnies in the state. It's worthwhile, and I want to help them. and I have a feeling you do too. That's
That's all I can think of unless there's any other questions from anyone. Raise your hand if there's anything maybe we missed or just that you're still unsure of. Anyone?
all right. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, both and neither, enjoy Motor City FurCon. Remember, you're going to get out of this what you put into this. Have a good time and good night.
Good night.
Silver Gato Man, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gato Man, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gato Man, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.